Megan Cloherty, only on KOAA News 5.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us for News 5 at 10. I'm Megan Cloherty, and it's a big night in Colorado Springs as fans went downtown to celebrate the Switchbacks' USL Championship win. Mayor Gary Visani confirmed to me the city is under investigation by the CBI and 2 employees are on administrative leave. They alerted the CBI after months of the books not adding up. But it wasn't 5 times. We know that because we got the daily cost sheet from the coroner's office through an open records request. It dates all the way back to 2016. And in it, the coroner, Dominic Verker, hand writes what his crews were doing that day. The location, the crew's numbers, the hours they worked, and the equipment that was used. Now, after going through this some 150-page document, we learned that his crews weren't up there 5 times. They were there 9 times. I'm Megan Cloherty, and I got scammed. Well, it came this close, but we wanted to make sure it didn't happen to you and give you the tools to recognize what you want to look for if you're on the phone or in a text with someone you don't know who could possibly be trying to defraud you. This all happened for me about 2 weeks ago when I got a call on my cell phone from a Lieutenant Del Hunt from the El Paso County Sheriff's Office telling me I didn't show up to court for an important court date to testify. Here, let me play you some of that voicemail.
Megan Cloherty, this is Lieutenant Del Hunt. I'm with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office.
Diane, we are here in Grand Junction, just a few blocks up from downtown, and this is the Herd campaign office. You can tell there are still some signs here, but most of the stuff is being moved over to the venue tonight. We're going to have the watch party. Just a few minutes ago, the snow started falling, and it's made things a little bit difficult to get these signs out without them getting all wet and everybody else getting wet on their way to the campaign. This used to be an urgent care office, and somehow they've made it into a working campaign office. Follow me through as we give you a little tour here. Jeff Hurd grew up here. He grew up in Grand Junction. He lives 7 miles up the street, and he says part of the reason he is running in Colorado is because he wants to revitalize rural Colorado. Here we are. A lot of the volunteers here who are left, who haven't made their way over to the venue, are calling the last voters, trying to get them to the polls, as we do have until 7 o'clock tonight when the polls close. And here is our big election day. They've been working hard to get here. District 3, as Brett mentioned, is massive. It's about the size of Pennsylvania, 27 counties. And earlier when I spoke to Jeff Hurd, he says he's been all over this district, including Pueblo. We asked him why he's running.
There's a part of Colorado where they import jobs and money and opportunities, and the rest of Colorado, we just export our kids. They grow up and they leave and they don't come back. And I'm fundamentally running because I want to create opportunities so that families can stay and live and thrive in rural Colorado.
Some of the top issues for Hurd are border security, rebuilding the economy, supporting energy independence, and responsible water use. And as Allison mentioned, this is a traditionally Republican-leading district, so it's been a lot of work to get to all these different counties, including Pueblo. I asked him, since Pueblo is the Democratic holdout for this district, is it possible you didn't spend enough time there? He said, no, I've been to Pueblo plenty of times, and every vote counts. That's why I wanted to spend time there. As far as endorsements, Jeff Hurd has the Gazette, former Mayor Suthers, Senators Bob Gardner, and Larry Liston. So they're hoping that traditional vote, Republicans here in District 3, goes their way tonight. It's going to be a close one. Apparently, Adam Frisch has outspent Hurd 7-1. It's definitely been an uphill battle, but they think it's one they're going to win. Reporting live in Grand Junction, Megan Cloherty, News 5. Well, discovering litter or graffiti in your neighborhood can be maddening, even concerning. So when a teen in Colorado Springs started seeing stickers with gang references near her home, she and her dad filed a report with the city, but they never heard back. We wanted to know what the sticker means and why the city didn't act. It turns out part of the reason is that the department is inundated with graffiti removal requests.
First one we saw was the one in front of our house.
Michael Vadina spent a career in military service. He didn't expect to feel protective of his family over a sticker. I'm going to put Google Translate on it. So you said one of them's Korean.
Yeah, the bottom one's Korean.
Danger area, it says.
Here's me. When you see gang on there, I'm looking at a threat. That's why we got online and registered it. And we took a picture and sent them the picture.
Unnerved, Vadina and his 14-year-old daughter filed a report with Colorado Springs Neighborhood Services 2 weeks ago.
I called on Wednesday. I said, you guys were supposed to give me a call. I haven't received a call. I'm kind of concerned if this is a real gang.
Colorado Springs Police tells News 5 that detectives think the sticker is related to a Japanese fantasy game.
We found references to needle gun in the American video game Overwatch, which launched its 4th season in April.
It made her nervous, so she decided, hey, we're going to walk around the neighborhood and we're going to start pulling the stickers off of the lampposts and stop signs.
Vadina says they never got a call back from police or neighborhood services.
I've never seen these. I sent a photo of that to our person that takes care of the graffiti most of the time. He has not seen that one either. So it looks to be fairly new.
Tom Wassinger, who manages the city's neighborhood services, says they recently discovered a glitch preventing reports of graffiti from reaching their office. The city confirmed Vadina's request was one of them.
We'd love to get them removed, within a day or two, but there's just so many. Like I said, there's been about 15,000 this year already. We have 2 people that's pretty well their primary job is to remove graffiti, and it's, they can be week to 2 weeks behind.
Vadina's neighborhood in Briargate isn't the only area hit. We found more of the needle gun gang stickers near the Motor City area of Colorado Springs.
So after we spoke with neighborhood services, crews removed 25 stickers from Vadina's neighborhood. And they say the system is now back online, relaying community reports of graffiti to the department to assign.
The accusations against the Los Animas County coroner were disconcerting at best. Now a CBI investigation has confirmed the coroner did bury homeless people in mass graves, but he did not break the law. That's according to the 3rd Judicial District Attorney for Colorado, who reviewed the evidence. News 5 investigative reporter Megan Cloherty spoke with the DA in an exclusive one-on-one interview about his decision not to file charges.
Well, Diane, as you know, we've been following this story for months. And while the CBI investigation found that some allegations against Coroner Dominic Verker were not true, the district attorney says some are, but they're not criminal. We also learned about a potential conflict of interest in this investigation involving the coroner's girlfriend, and I asked the DA about it.
This is the moment that started the investigation, when during an exhumation of a homeless man by his family last fall, crews discovered he was in a grave with another person.
It's just wrong. You just don't do this. And so, I mean, I've shared this with a lot of people because I'm offended.
Trinidad Funeral Home Director Tom Murphy's reaction is one others shared when news coverage of the discovery of the bodies buried together prompted questions into Coroner Dominic Verker's actions. Citizen demand prompted the sheriff's office to eventually ask the CBI to investigate Verker.
They independently did the investigation beginning in January, and I believe that it was probably in early March that they indicated that they were close to being complete.
3rd Judicial District Attorney Henry Solano began reviewing what the CBI found. The investigation was comprised of 11 interviews, 108 documents, videos, and photos. Solano concluded though Verker buried 2 people together, he did not act criminally.
There is no law that prohibits people being buried in the same grave.
Solano confirms the CBI investigation found what News 5 obtained in an open records request. The coroner buried 5 indigent people here at Starkville Cemetery, just outside of Trinidad. It's unclear in the records whether he buried other individuals in the same grave.
A $2.1 million settlement approved by City Council in Colorado Springs. It's centered on a case of use of force involving several police officers. But multiple agencies said the use of force was justified. So why settle? Our Megan Cloherty found out it happens more than you may think, and the city is using tax dollars to do it.
There are a lot of questions here. Why would the city settle the suit? To make it go away? Because it doesn't trust the evaluation by independent investigators? Or because it's worried it'll lose in court? I also wondered how often the city is using taxpayer dollars to settle potentially winnable lawsuits. So I went to City Hall and got answers. Not many body camera videos you see on the news are easy to watch. This incident is one of them, when 3 Colorado Springs police officers forcibly removed a kicking Dalvin Gadsden from his vehicle to arrest him in October of 2022. A CSPD chain of command and internal affairs investigations finding was that the force was justified. But 2 months later, Gadsden's attorneys filed suit, seeking damages and demanding a trial for the, quote, severe mental anguish and severe emotional distress as a result of the encounter.
And the motion passes on a 7-1 vote.
In mid-May, a vote on whether to pay more than $2 million in a settlement to Gadsden came before the city council. Despite that internal review of the officer's actions finding force was warranted, the council approved the settlement. District 1 Councilmember Dave Donaldson, the only nay vote, worries settling these cases creates the appearance the city is at fault.
Why are we settling if the police did everything right? It doesn't make sense to young people, so then they get the idea that the police aren't doing what they're supposed to, that they must have done something wrong.
You may be thinking this is just one controversial case. How often are these settlements happening? Well, according to data that we obtained through a Colorado Open Records request before settling the Gadsden case, Colorado Springs City Council members elected to settle 7 other cases in the last 2 years, paying out a total of $5,745,000 in restitution.
This is KOAA News 5 at 10.
Good evening and thanks for watching News 5 at 10. I'm Megan Cloherty. After nearly 6 hours, Teller County officials have rescued the second group of 12 people who were still trapped 1,000 feet below ground at the Molly Kathleen Gold Mine Tour in Cripple Creek. The call for help came in around 12:30 today after officials say another group of 12 were initially stuck in the elevator bringing them up from the mine. Here's a video of those final 12 people coming to the surface. You can see the elevator coming up and people walking in front of the lights in the center of your screen. The end of a long and uncertain day when rescuers told us at one point they were not sure exactly how they'd get them out. The mine is located on the east side of Cripple Creek, just across Highway 67 from the Cripple Creek Heritage Center. The Teller County Sheriff says one person is dead due to the elevator's initial malfunction. Officials first rescued 11 people, including 2 children, earlier this afternoon. And rescuers finally pulled those 12 people to the surface around 7 this evening. Let's bring in News 5's Eleanor Sheehan now, who's been out at the scene all day. Eleanor, what do you have? It's the latest. Governor Jared Polis released a response to the rescue tonight. He says he's spoken to the Teller County Sheriff and county commissioners and that, quote, I thank Teller County and Sheriff Mikesell and his team, as well as other law enforcement and first responders from local and state government for their swift response and tireless efforts. He goes on to say, thanks to this collaborative effort, each of these individuals will return home safely. While the mine has not been active since the 1960s, the tour uses what's called the man-skip elevator. We talked to the Western Museum of Mining and Industry's executive director about what that elevator looks like.
Typical underground hard rock mine. Above the surface, on the surface, we're going to have the hoist, the head frame, which creates a very rudimentary but yet robust elevator system. And so over the shaft, they can raise and lower this skip or this cart or this cage to move men, people, and materials in and out.
Grant Dewey adds the support structures for the elevator at the Molly Kathleen mine were likely converted and modernized to handle tourist groups. When we learned about the rescue, we wondered what's being done to keep tourists safe at mines. The state requires that tourist mines be inspected daily. This includes an inspection of not only the mine itself, but the mine conveyance equipment, which would include the elevator. However, looking at the state's mine inspection guidelines, it simply says that the mine must, quote, designate a competent person to conduct a daily inspection and does not specify any expertise that person would need to conduct the inspection. State inspections of the tourist mines falls to the Colorado Division of Reclamation, Mining and Safety, which has the power to shut down an operation if they find any point of concern that could threaten health or safety. Sheriff Jason Mikesell says the last time the family-owned tourist attraction had an incident was in 1986, but he did not say what the safety issue was. No one at the scene could share the last time the mine was inspected. We put a request into the state for that information. Meanwhile, I reached out to the owner of another tourist mine in Colorado, the Hitty Gold Mine Tour near Blackhawk. Owner Chris Stone tells me that his mine is inspected annually by the state, and sometimes they come and conduct multiple times a year. He says it's been that way for 20 years. The Molly Kathleen mine is not a working mine. The 1-hour tour of the mine includes visitors loading into a cage-like elevator that lowers them 100 levels below the surface, simulating what it felt like for miners who worked there. The mine operated from 1890 until 1961, when the price of gold dropped, forcing it to close. Since the 1930s, tourists have been able to go into the mine, drawn to the 1,000-foot vertical mine shaft tour. This is one of the final days of the tour as it closes for the season on Sunday. The mine is named for Molly Kathleen, the first woman in Cripple Creek Gold Camp to discover gold. It quickly became a booming business with miners clamoring to work there as the pay was so high for the time. The Molly Kathleen mine was one of the longest working mines in Cripple Creek, according to the mine's website. Time for a check of the weather now, and it was an interesting night. You may have seen the northern lights. Meteorologist Alex O'Brien and I, plus some of our News 5 crew, saw it. Alex, why are we able to see this now?
Megan, it was amazing to see the lights.
Those are some great pictures, Alex. Thanks. Now let's take a look at some of the other news you may have missed today. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding a man who they say made unlawful sexual contact with someone and attempted to kidnap them. Police say this happened yesterday around 2 in the afternoon at the Stratmore Valley Park and Trailhead area. That's in the Security Widefield area. Police say the man is between 20 and 30 years old, between 5'4" and 5'6", and has black hair and chin hair. The suspect left the scene in an older sedan that's either silver or light blue. If you have any information, call deputies tip line at 719-520-7777. Police arrested a 16-year-old for allegedly making a threat against Falcon High School on social media. Police say the teen lives in Littleton. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office says Springs Police received an anonymous tip about the threat and that it happened during an online argument between students at different schools. The student is facing charges of inciting destruction of life and property and interference with students at an educational institution. A teen is behind bars after Colorado Springs police connected him to a string of convenience store robberies. Officers say 19-year-old Montarius Barlow went into 4 convenience stores with a handgun and demanded money from the employees. These robberies happened between September 26th and October 7th. With the help of the Fountain Police Department, Springs Police arrested Barlow Wednesday at his home in Fountain. He's being held in the El Paso County Jail on a $100,000 bond. Xcel Energy will present its plans for the future of the Pueblo Comanche coal power plant next week. But before that presentation in front of the Public Utilities Commission, a group in Pueblo shared what it wants Xcel to do with the plant. Renewable Energy Group, Mothers Out Front, gathered outside the Pueblo County Courthouse today, asking Xcel for a cleaner energy source to be used at Comanche.
We're urging Xcel and the Public Utilities Commission to make responsible decisions and invest in more renewables for Pueblo and stay away from false climate solutions like fossil gas and nuclear.
Xcel is set to phase out the coal units at the Comanche station by the start of 2031. Now to your America Votes coverage. Ballots will start being mailed out to Colorado voters tomorrow. Election officials say it may take a few weeks for a ballot to get to you. Voters will not only be deciding on a new president, of course, but also in 14 statewide initiatives. For a breakdown of each of those and a list of ballot drop-off locations, head over to our website at KOAA.com. Former President Trump will be in Colorado tomorrow. He's hosting a rally in Aurora. The event is at the Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. Tickets for the event are sold out, though. That's according to the campaign website. Trump's scheduled to take the stage at 1 p.m. This comes after Trump's claims about a Venezuelan gang taking over a city apartment complex made national headlines. City officials there have repeatedly said that is not true. News 5 is co-hosting a debate next week for U.S. Congressional District 5. It's happening Tuesday, October 15th from 4 to 5:30 in the evening at the Penrose House Garden Pavilion. Democrat River Gasson will face off against Republican Jeff Crank. News 5's Allison Zimmerman will moderate, and our Brett Forrest will be a panelist. You can watch the debate live right here on News 5, on KOAA.com, and on our streaming platforms. A group that helps kids with life skills is being honored across the U.S. this week. It's National 4-H Week. In Colorado, around 13,000 kids participate in the program. Typically, you'd see 4-H members at the state fair or county fairs around Colorado taking care of animals, but they also help kids develop other skills like leadership, photography, and sports.
Coming into 4-H really brought me into my own and taught me those public speaking skills, those leadership skills, and I really don't think I would be where I am today without 4-H, and especially those mentors and friendships that I gained through it. I think more than anything, that's probably the most valuable thing of 4-H.
If you want to participate in 4-H, we'll have a link available for this story at KOA.com. Thanks for watching News 5 at 10. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.